This week, we continue with our series looking at companies that have made Clinton County, New York their headquarters and provide hundreds of jobs for workers from across northern New York. This week, our Aubrey Brissett has the story of the phenomenal growth of a company that started with a simple idea that has led to thousands of products used by contractors and do-it-yourselfers around the world.
Our product's not a product that you can look at and say, geez, I know just what I want to do with it. It's a product that you have to be shown what the purpose of it is for and what the value of it is.
Chances are you've walked on it before and never known it was there. That's because, like many of Schluter Systems' products, once installed, you don't see it. But its purpose is to protect what people actually do see.
The Dieter product is our claim to fame. It's an uncoupling membrane that allows a tile floor to expand and contract separate from the subfloor underneath it, which virtually does away with all cracking. And when you put this down, you're going to have a tile floor that's going to look like the day you put it down for many, many, many years.
Tile setters and distributors all over the world know the name Schluter, which was founder Werner Schluter's only goal for his company nearly 45 years ago.
He had a bathroom that had 3 or 4 doors, and he didn't know how to protect the edges of the ceramic tiles, and then came up with the idea of producing a metal angle to protect the edges from chipping so he wouldn't have to go back and fix the tiles. And then he realized that this is actually a pretty neat idea and was smart enough to get a patent on it.
It was that metal profile, the Schluter sheen, that led Reinhard Plank to Mr. Schluter's door.
I had a tile distribution business in Montreal, and the contractor came to me and wanted me to get him a piece of metal angle. And at the time I really didn't know what this was good for, and essentially I just wanted to do him a favor and brought in a small amount of that metal angle, which was the Schluter sheen. When I showed it to some architects, they thought that this would be a product that they could use here and there. And that's when I got back to Schluter Systems. At that time was just Mr. Schluter, and I asked him whether he wanted to do something for North America. In 1986, we started the company in North America.
Since then, Mr. Plank has been the president of Schluter Systems in both the U.S. and Canada. In 26 years, he has seen more growth in the company than he could have ever imagined.
We first started out, we hired one person in Montreal. We had a P.O. box in Plattsburgh. In '89, we bought this property here. We thought that we would need only about 2,500 square feet. So we divided the first building into 4 sections and wanted to rent the rest out. But we actually never got to renting anything out. We actually used it pretty quickly.
We call it a campus now because we have 4 or 5 different buildings. The basic warehouse is 200,000 square feet, and it's all distribution.
Today, Schluter Systems employs over 175 people in their Plattsburgh office alone.
We have an incredible staff. And for the most part, they're a lot like me. They get very, very excited. Generally speaking, if we get into a conversation about Schluter, the smile comes out, and I just get real excited to talk about it.
I've done many, many jobs, and this is like a great job. Everybody here is really enthusiastic about our product, really enthusiastic about the company. The company has a good mentality. It's a real people-friendly place to work.
Before 2009, Schluter Systems had only simple machinery at their U.S. location, like this one that punches trapezoids into their metal profiling. The trapezoid has become their trademark, a sure sign that lets customers know if they're buying a real Schluter product. Recently, however, Schluter has made strides into the manufacturing arena.
Across the street we have a building, and that's where we produce the Curdy board, which is the newest product that we have on the market. And we've invested a considerable amount of money developing that product. We have a machine that's only the second of its kind in the world. Germany has the first one, we have the second one. We started getting into manufacturing in late 2009.
The Curdy board product is the waterproofing membrane that comes with your do-it-yourself shower kit.
They can actually take the Curdy board, put it directly to the studs, and waterproof over the seams and all the screws and washers. And they don't have to apply any waterproof membrane over it because it already has the waterproof membrane on it.
And our products have really made it possible for just about anybody to build a custom shower. You could buy our system and put it in this weekend.
Bryant Bouchard is the Northeast Territory Manager for Schluter Systems. He assists in leading Schluter's educational workshops, targeting tile setters and distributors.
So they come to the workshop to go through the classroom where we learn theory, and then we come to the warehouse here and we do the hands-on portion.
We started out doing what we call lunchbox lunches. We would call up a distributor or maybe a tile dealer and ask him if it were possible to get 15 or 20 of his tile contractors and invite them for lunch, 1 hour, hour and a half, and we'd like to demonstrate some of the Schluter products and what they do. But we've developed that now into an educational school, and the schools have been really a major key to our success, and we're really excited that we're able to do it here in Plattsburgh because this is where the main facility is, so we love showing it off.
Getting the actual hands-on demonstrations to do the work, to be corrected as we do it, is invaluable.
Understanding and now what the options are and availability that you can do is just, it's a candy store of opportunity of things to do.
From a product line of 4 in 1986 to over 5,000 products today, Schluter Systems is growing each year.
I couldn't have imagined in my wildest dreams that it could come to this. I think the development of our product line is actually a real good example of international cooperation. A lot of the ideas really came from the US market, which is a very cooperative type of environment, and we communicated the ideas to Europe, and we're really able to develop product lines specific for our markets relatively quickly.
When I got here in 1998 and I closed that fiscal year, our sales were somewhere just under $6 million a year. And here we are 14 years later. I think we're going to close the books somewhere around $90 million. So the growth has been pretty phenomenal.
Although Mr. Plank originally chose the Plattsburgh location because of its proximity to his home and office in Montreal, he says the benefits of the location have surpassed his own convenience.
When I look at it today, Plattsburgh has a few very unique, I think, advantages over many other cities. I think one of it is the vicinity to Montreal. That really gives you a lot of different types of industries and expertise. Also gives you access to the Canadian market. I think we have been very lucky with the workforce. We have been able to find good people. Our community has been very supportive.
There's always good companies wherever you go. And I lived in Rochester, New York for 10 years, went to school in Rochester, worked for a big Fortune 500 company, but I saw a real opportunity in this area. There's great companies in this area, and Schluter's one of them, and it would be a mistake to overlook this area for good, solid employment and a good place to set up a business.
Mr. Plank believes that Clinton County is perhaps now more than ever an attractive location for businesses just like his.
Being very specialized and operates internationally is probably something that we're going to see more and more in the future. And I think similar companies, if they want to get into the US market, I think this would be a place that they could seriously look at as a good option.
With subsidiaries in 8 countries and a catalog in 30 languages, Schluter Systems, both locally and internationally, looks to have a bright future. But Mr. Plank won't jinx it.
I think the seeds that we have put out on the continent and the perception that we have as a company, and I think the collective knowledge that we have as a company between all of our employees is pretty unique. So I think our future should be, pretty bright.
And Reinhard Plank joins us now, the president of Schluter Systems of America. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
You oversee the company's operations in Plattsburgh, Montreal, the new distribution center in Reno, Nevada that we just heard about in the piece. And we've heard about your product lines and your history. So is this right now for the company, is this a time where you're seeing great growth, even though for many the economy is still struggling and trying to get going, but for your company, is this a great time right now?
I think we are really quite lucky or blessed, however you want to say it, but we are really seeing some very substantial growth, a lot more actually than what we budgeted for.
You have 200 plus employees in Plattsburgh right now.
Right.
And you've added 50 or so just within the past year.
That's correct, particularly with the production plant for Curdy Board and our joint venture for the foam production.
And Curdy Board, we heard a little bit about that in the piece, but explain again, if someone isn't a contractor, if they're not a do-it-yourselfer at home and installing a shower, what is Curdy Board and how has it become such a popular product for Schluter?
Well, it's a waterproof building board and really makes it very simple to construct walls or build, for example, bathtub enclosures. And you don't need any waterproofing on it, and it's very lightweight, doesn't create any dust, easy to work with, and I think that's the appeal.
For many years, people would use like sheetrock or something and then have to put a waterproofing material over top of it.
Right.
This combines the two, and so
right.
for contractors, that's probably attractive.
Yeah, and in a one-step process, you can do it. We also have some boards that are 2 inches thick. So rather than putting up a stud wall, you can just use the 2-inch board, put two together, and you have a wall. So rather than a day's job, it's probably an hour and a half.
And this is your hottest product right now. Is this where you're seeing the greatest growth?
Actually, no. It's just we have very strong growth all around. Obviously, being a new product, it grows a little quicker, but I don't think we really have seen anywhere close to the potential where it can get, but it's gaining in popularity. Probably 50% of our sales are products that were developed in the last 3 to 4 years or 5 years.
So you're truly a growing company.
Yeah, we've always, our tagline underneath the logo is profile of innovation, and that's a very important capability that I think we bring to the market.
Speaking of the market, what do you see for the next 3 to 5 years as far as, I think for this year you're looking at about 90 million in sales. What do you see for the next 3 to 5 years?
I would think within 3 years we should be able to double the sales. I mean, as you know, you can never really look into the future, but if I look at all the trends, it certainly looks very good. Steady employment for the roughly 200 plus people here, or do you see job growth and expansion, continued expansion here in Plattsburgh? I think there will be continuous expansion here as well, because this facility really serves all of the, or just about most of the US and Canadian markets. There will be expansion, expansion potential also for Reno, but this is still by far our biggest facility, and I think that's where most of the expansion will take place. Reinhard Plank, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. Thank you very much.